Be okay.
Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Trent, and I'm currently living out of the back of my van in my brother's backyard while I build out my new van. And this is episode 4 or 5 of that build series. I've lost track of time, to be completely honest, but it's a new episode. Welcome to whatever episode it is. I'm just in my current van getting my day started. It is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning, and we've got a big list of things to do on this build episode. What's up? So we're actually shooting this episode a little out of order today. So the way the van currently looks right now may not fully represent how we left off in the last build episode. Right now in this current timeline, we only have the kitchen cabinet carcasses in. We've got the fridge in. So the van may end up looking a little different after we complete today's first job, which, by the way, today's first job on the list is I want to put a new AC unit in. Now, obviously, I already have one installed on the roof of the van, and if you guys have been following the series for quite some time, you would know that I actually purchased this van with an AC unit already installed. However, this is a 12-volt AC unit, and if you watched my previous episode where I kitted out my van with the electrical system, which if you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out right here, you would know that I put a 48-volt electrical system in my van for a multitude of different reasons. But one of the main reasons is the fact that a 48-volt system is so much more efficient when you're powering high-powered devices. And AC units draw a lot of power. So powering a high-powered 12-volt device off a 48-volt system kind of doesn't make sense. So in today's episode, we're starting it off by replacing this AC unit and putting a new one in. And the AC unit that I'm putting in today is the Nomadic Cooling X3 48-volt AC unit from Nomadic Cooling. And they are sponsoring this video. They sent me this AC unit to put into my van, and I'm incredibly thankful. So shout out to them. If you guys want to learn more about this AC unit, make sure you click the link in the description. But the reason I went with this AC unit, specifically, 1, because it's 48-volt, and 2, because the form factor is just awesome. It's super thin. It's not going to be a huge eyesore on the top of my roof. It comes in black, so it'll match the van. The inside face is a flush mount, so it'll look super clean up on the ceiling. There won't be any sort of weird angles or anything like that. And it comes with this really nice LCD control unit. And we also ended up getting the DIY install kit, which I highly recommend you get as well if you decide to go with this AC unit. If you're a DIYer like myself, you're gonna need all this stuff. It comes with the wire harness, some adhesive, and just miscellaneous stuff to help this install go way smoother. And the links to all of that will be in the description of this video. But again, I'm really excited to install this. This AC unit is going to run so much more efficiently than the one that I currently have. Again, this is a 48-volt unit, so it'll pull around 14 amps, which is like 670 watts on a 48-volt system, which is incredibly efficient for an AC unit. So this is going to be able to help keep me and Millie cool in those hot summer temperatures. So this is the problem with doing things out of order. You're constantly putting things in, pulling things out. It's quite a nightmare. And right now we're having to pull down the ceiling boards so we can get access to the AC unit so we can actually pull this thing down. Thankfully I was smart with the electrical though, because sometimes I'd be dumb. There we go.
Wow, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Now it's time to just clean all this off and do a new seal for the new AC unit. Okay, I've got the wiring harness to the AC unit right here, which I am going to run from the AC unit through this channel here and then go behind this metal channel, follow this down all the way to my electrical system. Crazy how much lighter this is. Yeah. All right, guys, it is a new day. It is a warm day. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I'm sweating quite a bit. So it's a perfect day to test out this new AC unit that we just installed. So I am gonna go ahead and turn my power system on. And to get the full effect, I might as well go ahead and close these doors. I am at the lowest temperature. Fan is all the way on high. Oh man. And already that feels so good. And if I look at my Victron app, which is what reads how much current is coming in and out of my battery bank, we are pulling about 16 amps, and that's including both the AC unit and all of these appliances right here. So that's about 860 watts. And we are at max, like I said. And boy, does that feel good. And it's still booting up, so it's gonna get cooler and cooler as it keeps running. So I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, and then I'm gonna change it to eco mode, which should pull a little less power. Now I'm curious, if I'm gonna be sitting at my gaming desk right here, I can still feel that airflow coming from the AC unit all the way over here. That's crazy. This thing pumps. I don't know if you guys can see my hair moving from all the wind that's pumping to the side of the van from the AC unit or not, but that's kind of crazy to me. Okay, now that it's been running for a bit, I'm gonna change this over to eco mode. Okay, eco mode is on, and as I said, this is the most efficient mode. It's gonna pull a lot less power while still being able to cool the environment down a bit. And if I look at my Victron app, we are pulling about half the amount of power, about 8.5 amps, 450 watts. And again, that's at 48 volts. So that's incredibly efficient, and it is still pumping some cold air. Oh, this is awesome. And you know what? With eco mode running, I just wanna do some math real quick. It's pulling about 8.5 amps right now, and my 48 volt battery bank is about 270 amp hours. So I'm gonna divide 270 by 8.5, and that should give us the rough run time without charging my batteries or anything like that. This is just straight raw power consumption from the AC unit. So with that in mind, I could run this AC unit for 31.7 hours straight, which is crazy. So I can leave this thing running, no issue with my setup. Dude, I'm gonna be living in luxury. And look at Millie just vibing, just chilling. Shout out to Nomadic Innovations for providing me with this awesome AC unit. This is gonna change me and Millie's life while we're living and traveling out of this van all across the states. So if you guys want to learn more about this 48 volt AC unit, they also have a 12 volt model, and I believe they have a 24 volt model. Don't quote me on that, but I'm using the 48 volt model, and you can click the link in the description right now to go check it out and maybe even consider getting one for yourself. But now that I know that the AC unit works, it's time to move on to the next project on this build. Well, good morning everyone. It is a new day here on the van build series. Today we are finally installing the roof rack system that's gonna be going on top of the van. And this thing is beefy. It's gonna make this van look so sick, cooler than it already does. And this roof rack is unlike any other roof rack on the market. There's something really unique about it that's gonna allow me to be able to mount about 1,000 watts of solar panels on top of the roof, which is gonna be huge because I have such a big battery bank in the back of my van. And this roof rack will also house the LED light system that'll be going all around my van, and even a video surveillance system, which I'll show you guys later. But we've got the rack just leaning up against the shed here. It got delivered a couple days ago, which, by the way, my friends over at Tannerack sent me this rack for free to use on my van build, which I am so insanely grateful for, because in my opinion, this is the best, most practical, and coolest looking roof rack. And I'm not just saying that because I got this product for free, I mean it. I did a lot of research on the best roof rack to put on this van, because as you guys know, the Sprinter van is pretty narrow. And with already having an AC unit and a fan on the roof, my roof real estate is almost non-existent. If I were to just mount solar panels up there as is without a roof rack, I'd only be able to fit like 400 watts up there, which is not nearly enough solar power to keep my battery bank charged. And one of the many things that makes this roof rack so unique to me is the fact that you can get these metal sheet coverings that cover the AC unit and one for the fan as well. I've got another one that's just laying over there. And having these over both the AC unit and the fan is going to allow me to mount more solar on my roof, because it's gonna open up that real estate that I lost when I installed that AC unit and that fan. And I'm gonna cover this with as much solar as possible. And if there's any space left over, I'll use it for either Starlink or walking around, because as you guys can tell, this is a big, sturdy mount, and it is made incredibly well. Okay, so before we actually install the roof rack, we've got to do a couple things first. Because I'm going to be mounting lighting on the roof, surveillance cameras on the roof, and solar panels on the roof, we need to go ahead and install these cable seals, which is going to allow all of the cables from all the electronics on the roof to feed into the van and be waterproof. And we've got some lap sealant and some butyl tape for that job. And once we do that, then we'll be able to install the roof rack. So let's get to it. Got it. Push it. Pushing. Nice. There we go. Alright, it's on there. Alright, so the back wire inlets are installed. Now we are installing the front wire inlet, which is going to be all of the wires for my surveillance camera system. And they're going to come in right here and go down up to that area. So I have a full night vision security system that's going to be all around the van, and it'll be running 24/7 with the system here. And what's extra cool about it, I'll have a monitor that'll be up on my dashboard so I can monitor while I'm driving or monitor while I'm hanging out in the back of the van. But also it has Wi-Fi and network capabilities, so I can tap into my video feed even when I'm not at my van. Like I could be across the country, and as long as my Starlink is on and my cameras are on, I can take a look at my video feed and make sure the van is safe. It's kind of awesome. I'm really stoked to install this. Okay, so now that we have all the entry glands for all the wiring installed on the roof, now it's time to actually install the roof rack. And we came up with a creative way to put this roof rack on top of the roof because it's really massive. Getting it up there like this is gonna be kind of difficult. So I'm gonna move the van over to the shed to make it easier for us to put this rack on the roof. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. All right, make sure that monitor doesn't swing anywhere. All right, so the goal here is to put these pieces of the roof rack on top of the shed, then get on the shed, have someone move the van next to the shed, then we take the rack and put it on top. Now, ideally we'd do this with a forklift, that'd be way easier, but we don't have those tools, so we're working with what we got. Okay. You got it?
Okay.
Hold up, hold up, hold up.
This is it.
There you go.
Okay. Let's put it down, see if it stays. That's good, probably.
That's good?
Yeah.
All right, boys, you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. You got it? I'm gonna lift up. Oh, we got this. I got this, Trent. You're gonna move the ladder, go on the other side, and you're gonna take it from him.
Okay.
Three, 2, 1.
Shut it down.
Going down.
All right, it's on. Now we just gotta bolt it down.
Yeah, so we should just be able to lift this up a little bit and then slide the bolt on and then just put a nut on it, keep it loose. That way we can still slide it.
Yep, exactly.
Get it where we need to put it. All right, good?
Okay.
Make it quick. Ready?
Yep. Go down. There we go, got it. Holding it.
Yep.
Looks pretty cool.
All right, the back of the rack is up. Looks awesome. We're gonna wait to tighten it down once we get the front side up, but holy crap, that looks freaking cool so far. That was a lot harder to put up than we thought. We definitely do not have the right tools for this, and unfortunately we made some mistakes along the way. We actually tore up a piece of the wrap on the side of the van, so I'm definitely gonna have to get that fixed. But to avoid that from happening again, Brandon just wrapped the feet of the roof rack with some tape and cloth. So hopefully when we put this front piece up, we won't scratch any more of the vinyl wrapping.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm ready.
Really? That's for this camera, not that one.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
all
I
right.
know. I just saw myself. I didn't want to show off my gains to YouTube yet.
All right, you guys ready?
No, but yes. Ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Okay, going up. You good?
Yep.
Okay.
Good job.
All right, now I'm just gonna set mine
You
down.
can set it down. Go back on the
Watch
roof.
the feet for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get out of the way.
Yep. And then you should be able to, can you lift on that side or no? Walking. Can you stop? And then regroup.
Just shut it down, we're good.
Down, down.
You can slide it now.
Well, let's not slide it too far. We need to. Oh!
Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
Tripod down.
Oh,
It caught itself.
it got wrapped in this, like down below.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We almost lost that camera. Today's a doozy of a day. Well, good morning everyone. As you guys can tell, the roof rack is finally installed and this thing looks so good. It's making the van look pretty mean, which I love. However, after we finished the install the other day, it was just so hot. As you could probably tell, we were sweating our butts off. So we decided to call it for the day and pick it up on another day. So we woke up early this morning, it's 7 a.m. right now, to utilize the cool morning air to really finalize this roof rack install. We're gonna install the cover over the fan, install the solar panels, all the LED light bars, and even all the security cameras that are gonna go up there. We got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, so let's get to work. I got my two.
Streetlights align a dead-end road. Walk to the end, pretend I don't know. I find myself here more times than I can count. It's funny how the evening brings me to a place I can't get out. I bailed on going out tonight, so I didn't see you. But last week I was walking through your town, kinda hoping you'd see me. And I don't know what the hell I'd say. Probably say something stupid like I always did. And I'd wanna list all the ways with you I blew it.
All right, first solar panel is on the roof. Now we've got 4 more to put up there, which by the way, I got these panels from EcoWorthy. These are 200 watt panels each. And I've got 5 of them for a total of 1,000 watts on the roof, which is a lot of solar power. All right, we've got all the solar panels installed onto the roof rack, all 5 of them. We've got 1 at the very front, 1 over the fan, 2 in the middle, and then 1 on the back over the AC. And I even have a little extra room in the back to mount, I don't know, recovery boards, something. I can even mount stuff under this AC unit if I really wanted to. And I've got space in between my 5th panel, my 4th panel, and my 3rd panel, and my 2nd panel. And I think I'm just gonna use those as walkways to do maintenance if I need to get on the roof and change out a solar panel or something. But the fact that I even have extra room up here, considering I have 1,000 watts of solar, is kind of insane. But we're burning up. As you can tell, I am sweating. So we're gonna take a break, let the sun go down a little bit, and then we'll pick this up again and install everything else. All right, we're back to the van build, and next project is to install all the lights and the surveillance camera onto the roof rack. I've got this massive curved 50-inch LED light bar that's gonna go on the front of the van, and then I've got these small little LED lights. I'm gonna have 2 on each side of the van, 2 on the passenger, 2 on the driver, and then 2 on the back. And then of course, you guys saw earlier, the night vision cameras that are going up. All right, so here's how these are gonna mount. These lights are on this little pipe clamp. They're gonna clamp onto the roof rack just like this on the pipes. All right, now that everything is mounted onto the roof of the van, it's time to hook all that up to my electrical system in the back of the van. And first thing I'm gonna work on is connecting my solar panels to my batteries so they can go ahead and start charging them up. And I've got my charge controller right here. However, in line between my panels and the charge controller is gonna be this 15 amp breaker that I'm gonna mount. I'm thinking something like that. I don't know, it's a little tight in here, but it's all we got to work with. And then the charge controller is going to mount somewhere down there. Okay, solar panels are hooked up. Now it's time to turn the system on, flip this breaker on, and then the battery should start charging off of solar power. Now, if I'm being honest, I am a little nervous about this because this is the first time these batteries are receiving a charge, and it'll be about 1,000 watts. So I don't know, let's just see what happens. All right, no smoke, no explosion. That's a good sign. According to my Victron app, we're pulling about 300 watts of solar. As the sun gets higher and higher in the sky, that number will only get larger. But the fact that this system is working, my solar panels are charging my batteries, there's no explosions happening, is freaking amazing. It's finally all coming together. And it feels good. But I'm gonna wrap this up for now, clean up a little bit, and I will check back in with you guys a little later. All right, well there you have it guys. The roof rack, the solar, the cameras, and all the lights are mounted on the van. And this van is looking so freaking sick. And speaking of looks, I'm sure you've already noticed, but I chopped off all my hair. I know, crazy, right? It feels a little weird. It's been since like high school since I've had short hair, but you know, we're way down in the south building out this van and I have just been burning up, melting my face off. So I figured, you know what, let's change it up a bit. Let's chop off all the hair and see if that cools me off while we're building out this van. And it has. And I'll be honest, I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. But anyway, roof rack is installed. That was quite the headache. We did not have the tools necessary to install this. Now, I will say, if you guys do decide to get a rack from Tanner Rack, you can actually go to their facility and they'll install it for you on a forklift, which would have been a way better option for us, but we are literally on the opposite side of the country, so that wasn't really practical for this build. But I am blown away with how much it changes the look and the feel of the van. It's starting to look like a real overlanding vehicle. However, we're not completely done with the roof. We're at about 90% complete with the roof. As you can tell, there is a little notch on the passenger side of the van, specifically for an awning to be mounted on. And I do plan on doing that at some point here in the build, but I think that'll be later down the road. But that area where the awning goes into is actually really cool because it's set back quite a bit. And it goes back behind my sliding door. So if it's ever raining, I can have my awning out a little bit and it'll block all the rain from dripping into the van and potentially damaging my PC. But there you have it guys. The roof portion of this build series is done for now. We're gonna take a break from the build. So that means there's gonna be a break here on the build series. This is actually the last episode of the build series before the big reveal where the van is complete 100% and ready to hit the road, which might be a little confusing for you guys because at this current state of the van, it's like maybe 75% done. So we do still have quite a bit of work to do. However, we're deciding to take a break from the build series because, to be honest, filming and building out this van is making this whole build take 20 times longer. When I set out to build this van early this year, the goal was to build it out in 4 months, 3 to 4 months, and here we are going on 7 months, which is crazy. And at this rate, this van won't be done until next year. So we're gonna have to pull back on the production side of things, not film as much, so we can just build. And I'm actually going to be handing off a lot of the build to Brandon. So a huge shout out to him. As you guys know, he has been a huge help on this build. And without him, you know, this would have taken way longer than it already has. He's gonna continue chipping away at this build while I actually go off and go on some adventures. As you guys can tell, like, I haven't been releasing a lot of content lately here on the channel because I'm so caught up in this build. I don't know, I'm just stressed and a whole bunch of other things. So for this next phase of the channel, Brandon's gonna be building behind the scenes while I am about to travel off to Iceland for a month. I'm gonna be there traveling around in camper vans, doing van life up there, and I'll be hosting a group trip, which I announced several months ago, and it's gonna be a blast. I've got a lot of great things planned over these next couple of months. And then hopefully when I get back from Iceland, I'll be hitting the road with a new van, and me and my buddy Christian are gonna be doing a really, really cool road trip that you guys aren't gonna wanna miss. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, there's all your updates for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the build series. Shout out to Tanner Rack for sending me this insane roof rack. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to mount 1,000 watts of solar power without this roof rack. So please go check them out. I'll leave links to their website in the description below. If you're building out a van for yourself, consider getting one of their racks. It is the coolest looking, most well-built rack I've ever seen. So again, thank you Tanner Rack for sending me the rack and supporting the channel. If you guys end up getting a Tanner Rack yourself, please let them know that I sent you. And on top of that, huge shout out to Nomadic Cooling for also sending me the AC unit for the van. 48 volt AC unit is gonna come in clutch for those warmer days. And I'll leave links to that in the description below as well. But that's it, guys. Here's to the next chapter of Trent the Traveler with short hair. I'm really excited to show you guys these next few adventures that we're gonna be going on. And then of course, when we come back, I'll show you guys the big reveal of the van 100% complete. But for now, I'm gonna wrap this video up here and start working on the next video. Stay tuned, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoy this video, and I will see you all in the next episode.